these shows aren't about any one given idea. It's about how these individual ideas come together to create something truly magical and spectacular.
Songblazers is an amazing adventure that Cirque du Soleil tackled in collaboration with Universal Music Nashville to marry country music and the circus arts. The whole show is based around songwriting and the act of writing a song and the whole process of writing a song and how songs, which are stories, especially in country music, that touch you directly. It tells you a story about yourself all the time. And we really wanted to use that as a base for the show, as a conceptual base. You can think about the show being separated in 7 different parts. Show starts in the county fair. So this is going to be how we will start unleashing the magic.
Cirque du Soleil is a beacon of creativity. It's one of these places that truly, as cheesy as it sounds, if you can dream it, they can make it. And that is such a privilege to be a part of. I signed my first contract at Cirque when I was 19, and I dropped out of school, and I had my first show that Saturday. And I am the Associate Director of Songblazers, as well as the clown in the show. The process of building these shows, it goes from the conceptual phase, which is just the thematics and general idea of what the show can be, and it's a bunch of what ifs, what if this, what if that, and it's moments of this confidence of like, we got it, and then the next minute is like, what are we thinking? And I think it's that balance that's tricky in this kind of pre-production phase because we don't know until we have the real ingredients in front of us.
This would be square dancing and the beam and they don't have to go like, I know you know this, like tune, tune, tune. Some things can happen at once, you know. My process is doing the research and then waiting for the story or the muses, waiting for it to come through, waiting for it to be written. In this show, that really happened. So this simple idea of the banjo and the fiddle, those two sounds coming together, it gives you a very specific idea of a story. And so from that very simple place, everything started to kind of blossom. We're watching a scene progress, and that this becomes a huge hoedown. I think we can make that work.
Mm-hmm. Right now we're in the development process, like checking fabrics and colors and textures and trim. I'm Zarina Akers and I'm the costume designer for Songblazers. I was inspired by, honestly, fashion, country music, past and present. Like I really dug into research to a ton of different musicians and artists, but then also runway style and fashion and how it's incorporated and kind of have the best of both worlds meet, like fashion and music. I think the two go hand in hand.
So my name is Vanessa Ashley and I'm the makeup designer for Songblazers. The inspirations really came from Zarina's beautiful drawings, of course, for the costumes, and from the artists' descriptions from Dan and Amy. Makeup and costumes pretty much go together. I would say makeup is the final touch of a costume.
The steps were kind of multi-level. We know where we want to start, we know where we want to end, but you know, we get these beautiful artists who come in the day in a rehearsal, something accidental can happen that becomes integral to the show, because I've got somebody standing in the room doing something gorgeous and it's like, there it is, that's the end. A lot of what comes to you in the room.
Hello, my name is Germain Guillemot and I am the acrobatic designer for the show.
Hello, my name is Melissa Colello and I'm the acrobatic choreographer for the show.
The beginning is really like everything is open, try things, you can try everything. We don't have any bad ideas, just bring things on the table and we'll see what we can do. And then when the process we go forward, more we have to for sure choose, and then after it starts to be really interesting also because we want to polish the things and make sure that everything is really perfect. More we approach that perfection, more the artists are able also to enjoy the process because they are so comfortable in their routine, then they can start to give even more to the audience.
One of the elements in that creation that we're the most proud of is our casting. What's interesting is that we had to go somehow for part acrobats and circus artists and part musicians. Some of them are going across boundaries.
La danse country, à la base, on l'associe régulièrement à la musique country. That's right? C'est pas la base, OK? Quand ça a commencé, ça a vraiment commencé les Européens qui ont envahi l'Amérique.
The show existed on paper, got a core story that we're trying to tell, but really the magic is happening in the room here while we work with the artists. They have so much to give, they're so inspiring. To take the contribution of the artists or to let them be themselves, to let them shine through the framework and the story that we've written is just writing the story further. It's bringing it to other places, it's bringing it to a magical place, and they actually bringing it to life.
After today, you are the best dancer in the world. Okay? No.
It's really interesting because all of the artists that we have on the show, the artists who are from everywhere, Africa, Brazil, they're all here and they're all sharing in the same way that country music shares. So there's a really beautiful alchemy in that. There's a really wonderful sense of joy and sharing and humility that is hard to explain, but it just feels really honest.
This role for me as an associate director is new at Cirque du Soleil. I want to expand the scope of my career and I want to be able to do these shows for the rest of my life. One thing that I've learned through my years in growing up within the community of Cirque is communication and collaboration. These shows aren't about any one given idea. It's about how these individual ideas come together to create something truly magical and spectacular that really, at the end of the day, surprise us all.